All right, we've got a lot of news to run through. We have received multiple new camera angles of the man who is highly suspected of killing conservative commentator Charlie Kirk. On top of that, more than 24 hours into this investigation, and the FBI seems kind of stunned. They don't know where to go next. They apprehended multiple potential suspects, but then let them go after a quick round of questioning. We now have blurry photos and blurry videos of the suspect, but when asked, Utah officials said 20 minutes ago that they, quote, have no idea whether the suspect is in Utah or not in Utah, which means they have no idea where the suspect is at all. They weren't able to successfully track him past these few videos that we have. They also mentioned that they've received over 7,000 tips from different sources, which is the highest that they've gotten since the Boston bombing, the highest any bureau has gotten since the Boston bombing. And another interesting piece is they're offering $100,000 for anybody who submits a valid tip and ends up finding the identity of the shooter, meaning they are quite desperate for any good quality leads. They're creating this incentive structure so that people aren't submitting thousands and thousands of terrible leads, and it seems like they're at a dead end. I mean, the FBI, taken over by Kash Patel when Trump took office, has been a mess of infighting, but this really takes it to a new level. We saw just a few hours ago, Director Kash Patel and senior FBI officials were spotted at the site of Charlie Kirk's assassination at Utah Valley University. I mean, come on. Kash Patel is not some psychic analyst who's going to go on site and be able to deduct and find all these clues. No. Kash Patel is genuinely a fool. If he's supposed to do anything, if he's going to do anything, just keep your hands off. Let senior experts at the FBI take care of this. But that's not possible because Kash Patel fired 25% of the expert bureau officials, including the person who was leading the Salt Lake City bureau. In Utah, this person was fired just a few weeks back with no explanation, despite being highly praised by everybody around her. But to continue, let's start off with this clip of the shooter limping down the road. This is before the shooting and after the shooting. You see him limping away. Then people are suspecting he had his gun stuffed down his pants. That's why you can't see it. He gets there. He assembles part of it with his backpack and his pants, and then he leaves the gun in the woods. That's why he's not limping after. I'm going to let this clip play. On the left, you see him walking, limping in an odd fashion for such a young dude. He looks like he's in his early 20s, according to the photos. So people right now are speculating, at least, that this limp before the shooting is because he had the gun stored in his pants. Now, there could be other explanations for sure. We should let the investigation unfold. But the interesting piece is the limp then disappears after he does the shooting and ditches the gun. But this is an angle right here. This is after the shooting. After the shooting, you see from the same camera angle, the same person. And this is literally all we have. We have a few blurry photos and blurry camera angles. It is insane that in this day of modern surveillance and technology, we don't have the evidence. It also shows the absolute incompetence of our current FBI. I mean, I'm not joking. There are reasons why experts are in lead positions. It's not because of bureaucracy. It's not because of some deep state. That is not why experts lead key positions. It's simply because they have the experience to drive everything forward. They know what they're doing. Now, in a second here, you'll see on screen that he pops right back up right there. There he is. And then you see him sprint. He's taking off. He must have been full of adrenaline after the shooting. We then received, not long later, this video. Let me play it.
If you look up to the top left, you'll see the building where the shooter was proned out in the top left corner. We'll go ahead and play that video, and I'll narrate as we walk through that. So here you see the suspect ran behind that upper building. He's going to come out on the right, moves to this far right corner. As he does, he's going to climb off the edge and then drop down to the ground. As he did that, he left some palm impressions. There's some smudges, some places we're looking to collect DNA. There's a shoe imprint where we believe the suspect is clearly identified as wearing Converse tennis shoes. Again, we'll replay that again so you can get another view of that. It's important to note his black T-shirt, his black pants, and appears to be some white on the soles of those Converse tennis shoes. Those are all identifiable items that we're looking for.
I'm sorry, but this is nothing. Every young dude has Converse tennis shoes. I have Converse tennis shoes sitting across the room. Everybody does. And at the same time, a palm imprint won't take you too far, especially when they admitted right after, in this clip that I'm about to play, they have, quote, no idea. This is Bo Mason, the head of Utah's Department of Public Safety, being interviewed on MSNBC. Take a listen.
I know you can't say too much here, but is it your understanding that this individual may be close by or still in Utah?
We have no idea. We're exploring leads for individuals out of state and individuals that live close by. We literally have persons of interest, tips coming in on the tip line that are spanning far and wide.
They have no idea whether the shooter is in Utah or out of Utah at this point. And there's a lot of misinformation, disinformation going around online. People are saying that his name was captured. They don't know his name yet. They do not know his name. We do not know if there was anything engraved in the bullets, despite Donald Trump Jr. deciding to hop on Fox News and claim that there was paraphernalia engraved on the cartridges. Take a look.
Again, violence against Republicans. They don't talk about I can't frankly name a mass shooting in the last year or two in America that wasn't committed by a transgender lunatic that's been pumped up on probably hormones since they were 3-year-olds, because they want to normalize that. And if you say something about it, it's verboten, because we're.
Are you kidding me? Do you guys remember when Dylan Roof shot up a black church and killed 9 black Americans? And then in El Paso, Texas, a white supremacist killed 23 people because he was targeting Latino communities. Do you guys remember 2 months ago when Melissa Hortman, a Democratic lawmaker, was assassinated in her home, and the same shooter walked to another lawmaker's house and shot him? He survived, thankfully, but Melissa Hortman, her husband, and her dog were all shot and killed by a Republican lunatic. Violence is not one-sided. It is disproportionately coming from the Republicans, and it's not good when either side does it. It is not good when either side does it. Donald Trump Jr. is being irresponsible.
We're supposed to trust the science, even if it's not science, and even if everyone understands it. Those people are protected. They are hidden. They are beyond reproach. You will never see the manifesto. Now you're reading about trans paraphernalia written on the cartridges of.
We don't know that. The Wall Street Journal immediately retracted and said, we genuinely do not know. It was based on an anonymous source. Just wait for confirmation. There is a lot of misinformation. As Governor Spencer Cox of Utah says, he's a Republican, but he says a lot of other countries are trying to foment and spread hate and disinformation. He's totally right.
What we're seeing is our adversaries want violence. China, we have bots from Russia, China, all over the world that are trying to instill disinformation and encourage violence. I would encourage you to ignore those, to turn off those streams, and to spend a little more time with our families. We desperately need some healing.
Genuinely a good message. I'm totally going to go chill for the night and watch a movie. It's been a long 24, 48 hours for everyone. But to continue here, what he's saying is very true. Imagine how much Vladimir Putin benefits, or even Xi Jinping, or any enemy of America. Imagine how much they benefit if they can use a little bit of their investment to invest in bots, stir up hate, so you go on social media and all of the top tweets with hundreds of thousands of likes are stirring up hatred. Now, do people actually believe this? Yes, people are angry, of course. I understand it, but a lot of this is spurred by foreign bots. When you talk to Americans face to face, it is much different than the type of hatred you see on Twitter or X, owned by Elon Musk. And if you're not on X all the time, then trust me, you're lucky. If you are on X, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All of the most nasty shit gets boosted to the top. It's like the algorithm is trying to divide us. So we need to keep that in mind. There's a lot of disinformation going around, so keep a cool head. Don't jump to conclusions. I see a lot of conspiracy theories coming from the right about some really far left person doing this. We don't know. I also see people from our side jumping to conclusions saying that this was some sort of false flag, or that this was some sort of planted thing. Honestly, I don't think Kash Patel can think that far ahead. When you say that the FBI is like planting evidence or having a cover-up, you're implying that Kash Patel can think even one step ahead. They've apprehended like 3 or 4 wrong people, tweeted it out, and then had to retract that tweet right after in embarrassment. Kash Patel is desperate right now for any sort of win because it's his ass. That's why he's on the campus. So I just don't believe that Kash Patel is covering something up. I think he's gravely, gravely incompetent. And I think that right now, the tensions just need to die down. Republicans are not helping. Republicans who go on air and say this type of shit that Don Jr. is saying are definitely not helping. Some Republican lawmakers are able to call it as it is and say that even Trump is being divisive. Like Thomas Massie said that. Mark Wayne Mullen said that his side is being a bit divisive. But other than that, we have people freaking out on the right. So we should calm down. I appreciate you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.